You can continue.
I was saying something about in India that is more prioritized is a degree as a uh, in any of these competitive examinations oriented. It's just you have the degree and you can be appear any of this examination. There is no more focus in any of this better skills, innovations and green technology. And USA that is more and more focused on innovations and green technology, healthcare, and skill based and real that foundation will clear that if you have complete your degree, then you can be start your any of this career opportunity that is not harmful their career growthness. In India there are huge peoples invest their more than 5 year in competitive examination, so after complete competitive exam they may be not success their life in the any exam government. That is harmful for your career growth after complete your graduation. And you if you start your journey from this from during of your career in complete if you completing your degree that time you started your skills that is more effectively and there is no impact your career growth. Just India we are doing something. I am also same position because I am as a civil servant and I have invest more than 2 years, but still I don't have better any of these skills. And I believe that if I gather some skills any of this innovation field any of this companies industry that I can easy to get any of this field of my career. This is not impact my career growth. And now I feel that I continuously try to practicing some especially in civil services examination oriented questions right now. But I don't have better. I don't have more confidence when I if I are not success in these examinations. And I say completely that I cannot teach any of these competitive examinations like civil services especially. I say something about that requirement of better command. So I believe that is if you have something better in initially stage that is more effectively. So I think it's yeah, it's my opinion. What do you think about it?
Okay, nice. Nice point you added. What about nations? What do you think
Yes,
about comparing points?
yes, I think I'm completely agree with the Kamlesh, all point, whatever he mentioned very rightly. In India, we generally keep the focus on getting the jobs instead of the, keeping the focus in the research and development. I'm just giving an example. I mean, data. In India, we spend around 0.7% of our GDP on the our education system, including the research, development, innovation like that. But when we come to the USA, so USA spend 2.8% of our GDP research and development. It means that we are far lesser to the USA when we come to the education system. Yes, more and I mean, Kamlesh, very rightly highlight a point of the practical knowledge. In India, I think it's totally true that we are not keeping the focus on the practical knowledge. For example, in the school and the colleges, lack of infrastructure. Due to lack of infrastructure, we don't know that much technology that how can, like if there is someone, that person is from the science background, so we don't have that kind of technology so that we can create, I think, new technology. I mean, we can, I would say that generally we do the practice through, I mean, the infrastructure which is not there in the school colleges. And this is ironic to say that India produced 25% of the engineers, you know total of the world. Still we are not so capable that we can research on any particular things. For example, yes, but I would say that best thing is that during the COVID-19, I think we did very right thing by developing the COVID-19 vaccines. And otherwise, I would say that due to innovations, I mean, lack of the innovation in India, major countries and major companies which are there at the international fora, uh, most of the, you can see, the CEOs and the executive directors of their companies are Indian, because they didn't have that much opportunity in India. That is why they move away to the, I mean, the abroad, including the USA. So this is totally true that lack of infrastructure, lack of opportunities, and totally and concentrated focus on the government exam, which is, I think, these are the, I think, the few glaring example why India is not keeping the so much focus on innovations, research, development. So this is what I feel.
True.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And if I talk about from my perspective, I would say that about India and USA education, it's really different. It's really different because India is not developed country yet, but USA developed. So we don't so much we don't have keen interest to research. We seek the degree so that we can get job, good job, so that it is the source of fulling full the stomach. Like we want like we just do the degree, we get the degree for getting a good job or surviving the life. We are not keen interested to do patiently. We are not passionate about it whatever we do. Like for example, if someone is doing PhD, so he or she interested is he or she is doing, but he or she is not passionate about it. So what he or she learned from that, he will not learn practically. Theoretically he or she will learn, I think. So it's really
Yes.
important to learn practically.
Yes. So, Kamlesh, would you like to add something?
Yeah. Actually, see, I agree for her point, everyone's, and yeah, in India there are more peoples are involved in the theoretical knowledge. I mean, they have theoretical knowledge, but practical knowledge not available. Even if you see in all of this engineer, as a nation already mentions, because a lot of these peoples are involving in they have a degree, especially engineering and different kind, but they have not is the realistic of knowledge about a requirement of uh, in a modern era. So this kind of the problem that is in all of this Indian education system that are more focused only degree oriented based, and they are not focusing on the practical knowledge. So it's kind of a problem that totally that I say something that education must be more oriented, educate realistic and practically best should be, so it will be more effectively in India. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
right.
but what nation?
Yes, I think I have some, I mean, other points to add in the Kamlesh, Kamlesh process. It's about that somewhere there's a, societal pressure and the cultural things are there. Because in India, we generally think that we should get a government job, very stable, that would be very stable. And why should we spend? Because in the research and development and innovation, we have to spend around more or less I think the 3 to 4 year and even more than that. So we generally think, even we are from the, I mean, the middle class family, so we think that why should we spend that much time, and we just engage any competitive exams, state level and central level, just get a job and be very settled. But when we come to the research and development, so it take a lot of time, which we don't have. And even the society pressurizes that if you have the government job, so you are very safe and secure. But those who are, they are working in that field, so they are not from the society perspective, that they are not so stable in their career. So somewhere the parent also don't allow to choose such a career where we can take out ourselves in the, researching the things and innovating the new ideas, which is. But I think now things are being changed. And I would say that, as I just give an example, as I just give the example of the COVID-19 and some other things. I think my voice is breaking.
Yeah, what's happening? You can mute yourself.
No, I'm not mute.
I'm saying Kamlesh. Kamlesh, mute.
Yes, no, that's okay.
Now,
Did you mute yourself? Kamlesh, am I audible?
no,
Yes, you are
yes,
audible.
yes, I'm
Yeah, I was thinking that whenever someone is talking, so we should mute ourselves so we can't make a disturbance, right?
Yes, right. So what I was saying that due to societal pressure, we are not so pressing for the research and innovation because there is a perception that if you are going into that field, so it is time-taking process and which we don't have, and so just taking the government job and settle in life. This is, I think, the biggest reason. But when we come to the USA, even the most of the scientists and the I mean the bigger, what we can say, the researchers, whatever happen, they are generally from the USA, UK, especially they know the, I mean the best, the Europe, but they are not from the I mean the Asia, I mean the India, like that country. So we are just making the progress in making the career, not researching and innovating new ideas, new thinking. You are mute. You are mute.
Okay. I like that point you added. The people who's just giving the competitive exam, they don't have that much time to experiments like research. That's why they don't do. They want a good job. That's why they are going into a competitive exam so that they can get government job, private job. But what I think that like we there is also a one point I would like to add here, that they get scared of failure because whenever we research we get failure as well, whatever we do. So like when it comes to like scientists do the experiments research, so they get also lots of failure, but they don't stop themselves, they just keep doing, and until unless they don't get the result, right? But we don't have that much time, so that's why we avoid it, right? You you are in mute.
I'm saying you are totally correct. And so
Yeah.
Kamlesh, would you like to add something?
I want to edit the point for instance actually about this
Your voice
society
is echoing sometimes. Yeah, yeah.
yes now
Feel it.
am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so few societies they are expected from any of these student who are preparing for any of this competitive examination. They expected that in a will be do. So we are first one is they are focusing in main in Indians in the better some institute such that the Indian Institute of Technology and Indian Institute of Management and like this biggest institute that are more recognized as a degree for the surviving and better recognized in any of these companies. And if you also is a society also more recognized if you will get in any of these big institutes such IITs. So why why it should be like this kind of this mindset in our society? If you will be gives any of this your institute with a degree that get you, so you should be recognized better. But only the Indians that think about that my son has a better degree from this IIT, this Bombay IIT Delhi, like this kind of the people think about. And all of these people after complete their 12th class, they are involving of this, they're racing of this IIT for especially JEE mains and NEET exam. So why invest in so much time? You should be start your career for startup from the after the you in if I talk about the USA, they are not think about like this. They after dropping their education, they start their startup. No requirement of like this kind of this mindset. So just start. So it's this kind of the mindset should be removed and start in better education in India. That will be more effective. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Nice point. What about nation?
Yes, I think I'm completely agree, and I would like to just add something that apart from all of these factors, somewhere the we can say the lacking of the government and backup by the government, which is also somewhere because government is not pushing the, I mean the research and innovation sector in that way, in that amount which government should have. compared to the USA, because in the USA they they invest a lot of money in the even the private sector, so that they can uh, energize to the private sector. Because I really strongly believe that somewhere government has to take the strong step in regardless of that, to making to triggering the awareness among the student, even the people also. But in India, it's I think the lack of assistance by the government, state and the central government, from the both perspective, and due to which people are not so able. And somewhere, because those who are researching, so somewhere government should give them financial and monetary support, so that they can sustain. So how, like, if someone is the unemployment, if he's taking the step in research and innovations like that, so how would he sustain? So somewhere government should give package of monetary assistance, so that he can continue with that. So I think this is also somewhere the shortfall of
Yeah,
the governments.
and support is needed. You're right.
Yes.
I totally agree with you. Okay, so
Yeah.
we have almost completed. I think today is enough. I don't have more point. You are unmuted.
No, now I think I'm better. So what I'm saying, that we have the multiple points to add, and I think the biggest reason which we generally can see in regardless of India. In India, we, ever since we got the independence, we haven't experienced and we haven't explored any major thing in India. And the most of the you would see the social media platforms are, they are from the USA, because we didn't invest in that way. And like, we just take an example of the Toyotas and the so these are the technology we just I mean the few year backs, year decades or more than that, they just invent. But India didn't do that because of and I think brand then is also somewhere a crucial point. Our engineers, they are very sharp, and regardless of their in their field, so they go out to the, I mean, the foreign countries, as I just mentioned, because of the monetary support by the government, and so they go out there. And most of the Indians are the, you can say, the CEOs and the executive directors of the those companies, but we don't have our own platform, like like the Microsoft is there, and the YouTube and Facebook, Instagram. Let's just suppose if India, uh, could have created its own the platform. So what would be the India, the global power? I mean, the I mean the soft power across the world. So things could be changed if India, has this kind of thinking. I mean the platforms.
You're right. Such a nice point you added. What about Kamlesh? What do you think about nation's point?
I agree. For I don't have more and more point about edit for. So yeah, it okay.
So
So, like,
Okay, okay. I have some questions. If you agree for that, because we have already discussed about this issue and the problem and the career's impact in our career. So now I want to know something about the, especially what we are doing, what are doings by government of India to innovate. What about thinking about the new education policy 2020 that imposed by government of India to innovate and based on pedagogy and realistic and creative and practically imposed by government of India. I want to know that you already heard about that policy and read about that better. So I want to know your opinion. What is doing by government of India, to especially now focusing especially innovation? So know your opinions, new education policy. If you have idea, that's better. If you no idea, that is no issue. Yeah.
what
wait,
I
keep
think that government should support whatever the student want to do after 12. Like they are have keen interest, they are passionate about something, so government should support those students. As well as, what I think, whatever we learn, we are passionate about something, so we should do practically. We shouldn't be too much theoretically. And it's really important that when we for example, if someone says done something, so we should have knowledge, we shouldn't forget it, whatever we have read. So we should have knowledge about that. Well, I have seen lots of students, they have completed their graduation, post graduations, even So even though like 12, but they don't have that much knowledge. Why? So I think I don't know, but they don't have too much knowledge when it comes to us. They only read theoretically and give the exam and just forget it.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
She rightly mentioned, yes. I think this is, I would say, biggest problem in India. We generally, even not just we theoretically read. Even we just, in my case, I mean, I just used to go my college just for my exam and just having the fun. And because the teacher, they didn't keep the focus on. I mean, in my case, I'm just giving my own example. So lack of huge infrastructure is there, and generally the purpose of I mean when we come to the college, so is that we should be very communicators, and they should in skill us and up skill us, but it's not happening in the school and college. But yes, as this company pointed out, the new education policy, in that they mention, government mention about the multidisciplinary approach, in which they will keep the focus on the all part of the I mean, if someone want to, I mean, if someone is pursuing like the BE and BSc, if that person want to learn any other subject, so that person can, then student can learn that other subject compared to his or her, or also other like the subject. But let's happen what happened the implementation, because so far it's not so implementable, because everything is about the implementation. Government has brought the policies, but so far it's not clear that how the government will put it into the palace. And it has been almost the 2 years that so many states are there in India, they even haven't even accept it, and that they would implement it. So yes, but I think the move by the government is very very nice, but it is some extent too late to implement in the right way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have, yeah. This
So
1 hour I almost we have spent time right.
your voice is not coming.
My voice is not coming.
Now coming.
Okay.
You said something.
Yeah, I said that I am getting late. I have to take coaching.
Okay, okay.
I'm going. Yeah, it's
Yes.
3